So, hi everybody. I am Sue Cooper, based in Nottingham, England, and I'd like to tell you a little story before we move into a meditation. And then we'll move into a meditation on light and the radiance of light. So living in Nottingham, we have Robin Hood. And I'm starting to do a Robin Hood hack. And this is giving voice to that at the moment. And I kind of don't really know what this is going to look like. So I am speaking kind of off the cuff. So going back to the 1100s, before the Common Era, no, after the Common Era, there was Richard the Lionheart was King of England, and he went off to fight in the Crusades. And he had many knights that went with him, who were called the Knights Templars. And Richard was away for a long time, so the throne was taken by his brother, his youngest brother, King John. And King John, and then Richard the Lionheart died, and King John, from the Robin Hood story, reality, myth, legend, were at battle with each other. So King John he used to be called John Lackland, and that's because he lacked land, because much of his land, which was in France and in England, was taken from him, and he wanted to put up taxes from the people, and particularly from the barons, who are the higher echelons, landholders, to pay more money. And the barons said, no. So they decided that they would force King John into signing or sealing something called the Magna Carta. And he agreed to this, that the king and the king was not above the law, where the king had been above the law. So they took him to Ruddymede in the south of England and made him sign the Magna Carta. That was in 1215. In 1216, John died quite suddenly, losing the crown jewels. He was on the run in the Wash, the local ocean sea. And his 9-year-old son was then to be crowned King Henry III, but he was only 9. So he had to escape from London because a French king was coming to claim the throne, and was taken to a place called Gloucester, where he was crowned king with his mother's headband, which was a jeweled headband. This is a true story from the historical annals. And the main knight who was with King John was called William Marshal. And he became, because Henry was only 9, William Marshal became the King Regent, which meant that he was king of the country. But he's not really been heard very much about. And in 1217, so it was 15, the first Magna Carta sealed, revoked within 10 weeks. John dies, his son takes over. William Marshal is King Regent, Prince Regent, and the next Magna Carta is sealed. And it's sealed because by the knight, William Marshal, because this young lad was only 9. William Marshal dies a bit later on. He's quite elderly. He's in his late 70s, early 80s. And then the third Magna Carta is sealed by the more mature Henry, because he's about 18, 19, in 1225. And that is exactly 800 years ago. And I think that is in June 1225. We're now 2025. And these 3 copies of the Magna Carta have been on display in the Bodleian Library in Oxford. And I want to share just a little bit about William Marshal, because he's become a very significant figure in my awareness. There's a book. There's loads of books on William Marshal, and it's Marshal with 1 L. He was the Marshal, so it was William with the Marshal of the King. And there was this book published, and it's called, I don't know if this is back to front, The Light Magnificent and the Power of Grace. The Light Magnificent and the Power of Grace, written by Flo Magdalena. Okay, I can put this in the chat. It's an absolutely beautiful book, and it was written in about 2019. And I met Flo Magdalena in about 2014. She came to Nottingham because she's friends with somebody that I know. And this book has become a bit of a guiding light for me and this journey. And so I want to bring William Marshal into focus. I want to give gratitude for history. I want to say, I'd like to say that the Magna Carta was based on the law, the freedoms, we call them, about paying taxes, etc. And it was, I believe, the founding documents for the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Human Rights in America. So it's a very significant document. And I wonder, say this out loud, I just wonder what a modern day Magna Carta might look like if we were to look at the people's Magna Carta. So it's kind of just being playful as to what a modern day Magna Carta might look like if we were to call in the future and bring that into the present. What would we like the Declaration of Independence to look like? What would we like the Bill of Human Rights to look like? Do we have a voice that this may be something that could happen if it wanted to happen? So I'm just pondering all these questions at the moment. So thank you for hearing this this true story from history. And we know within the indigenous cultures that a lot of history came from the land. And we've talked before about indigenous cultures, particularly in the Americas. What did that look like, and what would they say? What would be in their hearts if they had an opportunity to write a new charter? So maybe that's just something to ponder on. But light is at the heart of this lightness of being, the light magnificent and the power of grace. So shall we now let all that go? That's just a question maybe for moving forward. We give gratitude to William Marshal and his light magnificent, and that light magnificent translated into the lightsaber in Star Wars. Yeah, we've all got that light. We don't necessarily need a sword. We don't necessarily need a saber. We actually have an inner light. So let's magnify that inner light that we have, and we'll do this simply by starting our meditation now. So shall we have that intention to close our eyes or soften the gaze, bringing our awareness into this incredible sense of aliveness in this. Each of us have a beautiful, incredible, energetic body that takes us through life. So let's anchor ourselves in the breath as we bring our attention inwards. And where would you like to feel the breath entering the body? Because we can use our power of imagination. We can bring the breath in reality, through the nose, and sense the temperature as we breathe in and out through the nasal passages. Following the breath in all the way up and into expansion of the chest. And then the fall of the chest as you breathe out. Be present to that. Or if you want to breathe through the mouth, does that feel comfortable? If we breathe through the mouth, we automatically relax the jaw. We feel the chest rise and fall on the in and out breath. Or would you like to feel the breath moving in and out directly, as if you're breathing straight into the heart space from the outside? As if the walls have disappeared between you and the outside, and the breath is simply moving directly in, expanding the chest and contracting the chest. Be with this as we're moving into this sense of gentle movement, finding our own natural rhythm. And maybe you want to feel the movement of the area just below the diaphragm where the solar plexus is. Solar meaning light and plexus meaning bridge. It's as if there's a yellow or gold light in that space. Sense into it. Sense into the natural rhythm and that golden light. Be present to this gentle movement. Sense into this soft light around the solar plexus. It's what we call a glow light. It's a light of warmth. Sense the body moving into a rhythm as the mind settles. And we become present to this glow light emanating from the solar plexus. Maybe feel that light expand from that place within you. This golden, soft light. Feel it filling the whole of the chest cavity. Feel it filling the arms. And the hands. And then radiating up into the throat chakras, maybe into the face. It's as if the sun is beaming within you. And then into the lower belly. Feel the gentle movement of the lower belly, with you simply breathing a natural breath. And then into the legs. Feel the warmth of the soft glow. Be present to the gentle movement of the breath, the glow of this beautiful, warm light within, lighting you up like a beacon from within. Glow is the light that emanates from within softly. Feeling the warmth. Maybe moving to above your head, as if the sun, the solar disk above your head, is beaming down on your head and warming the outer, the aura around you. Feel its warmth. And then maybe feel that desire to just merge your inner glow with the outer, becoming as one. Being present to this beautiful warmth. This light magnificent. Relax into it. And you sense it expanding further out from your being. Can it expand even further, wherever it wants to go? Sense into that lightness, this radiant glow. Filling the whole world with this light, this radiant, glowing light. Soft, so soft power that heals. Breathe into this light as it expands, as we merge into oneness. Be with the radiant light. Be with the breath. Breathe it in and then breathe it out. Maybe sense it swirling around. Slowly bring this light gently back, very gently back to our heart space, into our solar plexus, to our body. Sense the glow within the body, energetic, soft light. We simply be within this space together, each nurturing our own inner being. Breathing in this light, circulating it round the body. As we breathe out, feel its warmth. Let's do this in silence for a couple of minutes together. The glow light is the light of warmth. The soft light is the peaceful light. So peace brings lightness within. We literally light up when we find that place of heart base, peaceful resonance. This is lightness of being, the lightness of hope. The light of love transcends everything, and in the light we belong. We know that inner peace is our birthright. And in the peace we radiate lightness of being into our lives, the lives of others, and amplify into the world, uniting and returning. Ripples of inner peace create waves of harmonic resonance, and we birth a new way, a new world in unity. So the soft light of peace in the heart, settle into it. Feel the movement of the chest and feel that peacefulness, that lightness of being. The heart knows love. The heart knows peace. peace and love, in unity. We fill ourselves first always. So now let's start to bring our awareness as we start to move gently with this sense of peace and love, this light of glow, the soft light that brings a radiance that we share when we move out into the world. So we're going to take a nice deep breath now. We're going to let all this go. The lightness of being remains. We start to move now, knowing that we are a body that houses a soul that is a grounded being. So we press our feet into the floor. We are grounding ourselves in this being of light. Press your feet into the floor. Our eyes are still closed. Wiggle the toes. And as you do this, I invite you to take a longer, deeper breath in, sensing the breath where it wants to enter the body from the heart space, the mouth, the nose. And as you breathe out with a sigh. So open the mouth and sigh the breath out, a long, deep sigh of resonance as you breathe out. So you'll hear it. And then breathe in again. Make the breath deep, make it slow, make it long into the belly. And then you may want to hum this breath out. Just sense what feels right for you. This really energizes. That sound through the vocal cords. Or sigh it out. Let's do this again for the third time. Make the breath even longer and deeper and slower. Make it mindful. And maybe move a little as you breathe out with a sound. Make a sound, but move at the same time. Ah. And then we always put a smile on our lips, and we have one more breath with a smile on our lips, which raises the vibration even higher to the happy hormones. And then we rub our hands and we really start to energize ourselves, but we feel grounded. We sense the chair or the floor, whatever's holding us. We sense into this. And then when we're ready, and only when we're ready, we put our gaze down, we lower our gaze. And then when we are ready to open our eyes, we're simply looking down. We may be looking at our hands. Before we look up, and I'd like to just say a little Rumi quote, which is, "A pure heart open to the light will be filled with the very essence of truth." A pure heart open to the light will be filled with the very essence of truth. So when you're ready, maybe still with a smile on your lips, if that feels okay to do. How about bringing yourself up to greet me, us. And I'm going to stay with the recording. And I'd like to show you, I'd like to share, as we're coming round, I'd like to share this beautiful photograph, this beautiful picture. This is blue light within the body. And I'd like to share this because I'd like you to, if you would just focus on it a minute. I hope you can see it okay. It's a picture that I don't know where I received it from, and I give gratitude to wherever it came from. Well, what we have here, if we just look at it from the top, we have a star sun, bright yellow star sun, and a chain, a bit like the DNA chain going down into the through the top of the head. We're familiar with our chakra system, into the heart space here, and into the, it's a diamond, or it may be a Merkaba. And then it travels down to, as you see, you'll see the infinity sign with the yin and yang. And notice it's horizontal. And then the chain goes through that into the earth with another diamond, Merkaba. Well, it's actually a diamond, isn't it? We can see that's a diamond, with this light into the earth. And I just love this picture so much, and I really wanted to share it with you because I sense that this picture is showing whatever it's showing to you. And I'd love to discuss this afterwards, but I see the connection of the human form being the conduit, the DNA between the earth and the cosmos, with this diamond heart in between. And what I find really interesting is that the infinity sign is always shown as horizontal. And I sense that there is a symbol coming through, which is called the heart of the emergence, which links this, the vertical. And again, I'll share more about this in the next meeting. So I'd just like you to gaze on this with awe and wonder, because it's really quite beautiful. And I thank you. I'll stop the share. Stop share. I thank you so much for listening to the true story of the Robin Hood and King John and William Marshal. I give gratitude to William Marshal. There's just one point that I haven't mentioned, which is the super radiance effect. I really wanted to just quickly bring this in, because this was or is about radiance and radiating light beyond. And there is an effect called the super radiance effect, which was brought into being, into the public domain, rather than into being by the Maharishi. The Maharishi, who was the Maharishi in the Beatles' days, so we're going back to the 60s. And he talked about the super radiance effect, where if 1% of a given population were to move into heart coherence and meditate on peace, the 99% will move into that radiance, and these were the elevated siddhis. But we all have this power, and maybe this is something, this light magnificence and the radiance is something that we can continue to embrace in this lightness of being. So thank you so much for joining this meditation. There is more to come.